Welcome back to 5-Minute Bible Study. We just worked ourselves through a tricky verse. Tricky for me, might not be tricky for you. In some ways, this next section is also kind of annoying to me at times. Let me read it and explain why. So now we are Matthew 7:7-12. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks the door will be opened. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. My problem that irritates me is always those first two verses. Ask and it'll be given. Seek and you'll find. Knock and it's always like, God, I've asked for a lot of things. And I'm standing at a closed door with nothing in my hand. Or so I think. And this verse has always bothered me because it just kind of feels like, why would he say that? Because he doesn't do it. Just don't say it. Or I tried to justify how the verse was a good verse or faithful or showed us who God is. But to be honest, up until the day that I read this, every time I saw it, I was still kind of like, not so sure. He's a door answerer all the time. But then I sat and thought about it. Considering what he just said. So he just said not to judge, to seek compassion and grace, and to be careful with what you have. So first of all, I guess, if you remember we talked about a dog and a pig last time, if the dog or pig comes to him and asks, seeks, or knocks, they too would receive. Because there is no stipulation. Jesus never said, accept this person, accept that, except if they do this. There are no exceptions. So if the dog changed his mind, or the pig changed his mind, they would receive as well. And I like when it says, for everyone who asks receives, oh, that's verse 9. Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? I wrote down here that it would be absurd not to receive or find or open. That's how absurd it is, that if your kid asks you for food and he's dying of starvation and you give him a stone, that's how stupid it would be if we asked and knocked and God wouldn't answer. That's how dumb it would be. Or if your kid asks for a fish, which is healthy nutritional sustenance, would you give him something poisonous that could kill him? Again, that's how absurd it would be. If you ask, I'm going to answer. You knock, I'm going to open. That's who I am. Because it would be as absurd as giving my starving child a poisonous snake if I didn't do those things. If I, based on verse 10 or 11, if I, little old Nancy, who cannot keep her heart or head pure to save my life, no matter how much I try, if I know how to give Summer what she needs and to be good to her and to help her thrive, how much more will God be good to us and want to help us thrive? He doesn't struggle at all with keeping his head or his heart pure. He is all love. We are 70% water. He is 100% love. How good would he be to those who come to him and ask for food and sustenance because they are so hungry? Of course he would give. Of course he would. That's who he is. That's our God. That's this God that we're finding right now in the New Testament. He would never give something to us that we weren't dying for. He would never deny that request. So regardless of the situation or the person asking, or even our own issues, treat people like God treats you. Be a giver, a shower, and an answerer. Be a good father, compassionate, loving, gracious. Do what he does. He is kind and loving. And he wants us to be kind and loving. He's doing to us as he wants us to do to him and to do to others. And I like that. It says this whole point, the whole point of this, of the Old Testament, it says here, let me just reread it again. So in everything, do to others as you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. All the stuff in the Old Testament, all those strict rules, those were laws that were to help you love other people, to not hurt other people. We just can't keep those. And so he is saying again here, he's saying to keep it up, if you would just love whoever comes to you and give compassion and grace, no matter where they've come from or their story, then you are being like me. And I want you to be like me because I don't know how to do anything else but love. No judgment or discrimination. So we need to give bread, give fish, give life, give sustenance. It doesn't matter who's asking. If they're starving for more, let's not give out snakes.